Good morning, happy Saturday, and welcome to the Woke Socialist Podcast. Yesterday was my birthday, so I've been up since then. I might look a little rough. Please get over it. I have some very important messages that I need to get out today. Right now, 5,000 National Guards men and women are being slated to be deployed on Washington, D.C. Now, per Jesse Dollamore, you can check out his YouTube video. There's video of a woman just sitting on her porch in Washington, D.C., being snatched up and arrested by federal troops, National Guard troops. I'm sorry, I don't want to call them federal troops. At any rate, early voting in the state of Maryland starts on June 11th. And the type of summer that we have in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area depends almost solely on those elections. Why do I say this? It's because we have seen time and time again when we elect the wrong vote blue, no matter who candidates, and Democrats into Congress and Senate, and even in our local municipalities and state governments. The outcome of incidences can easily be predicted by who they associate themselves with. This is the Woke Socialist Podcast. Please like and subscribe to this video. If you feel like it, please drop a comment. We're not making any money off of this. We're just trying to keep you informed and just keep you engaged. Don't fall for the okie doke. That's what they want you to do. That being said, I got some very disturbing news today. Oh, before I get to that, let me talk to you about this Rick Chow situation down in South Carolina. It's fucking ate up like shit. And there is a national black boycott of Asian businesses because of it. Now, in case you missed this story, there's this guy down in South Carolina named Rick Chow. And he has been, over time, assaulting black people, black children in his business. It looked like, to me, a convenience store in the videos that I had seen. But at any rate, he fired into the back of a 14-year-old that he believed was stealing a bottle of water. Just recently, he was acquitted of all charges under the understanding that he was in fear of his life. Let me repeat this. Rick Chow in South Carolina fired into the back of a 14-year-old black boy for what he thought was theft of a bottle of water, and then was acquitted or found not guilty of these charges based on fear for his life, also known as self-defense. Now, if you don't know how these things have played out decade after decade and century after century, a lot of this has to do with, yes, white racism, but black individuals that we have put into power that do not want to rock the boat. Which brings me to how important these elections are. Now, let me say something about this boycott. As I stated before in my previous videos, on many occasions, white Americans have asked us to boycott things like Disney and Amazon and Tesla. But when things happen to black citizens, nobody wants to do a general strike, like Paul Lance suggested. Nobody wants to punish any of these institutions that discriminate against black people. So now you got nationwide black people boycotting Asian businesses because they have, no other recourse. And even though all Asians are not the same, you have Koreans, you have Japanese, you have Chinese. And I might be wrong, but I suspect by my knowledge of Asian culture that Mr. Chow might be Chinese. But do understand this, that no matter where the oppression comes from, black dollars matter. In blue states, no one can win an election without the black vote. And no one that owns a business in a blue state in a black neighborhood can survive without black people. So your dollars do matter, and you need to start spending as if they do. And that includes your elections. So let me get back to this disturbing fact-finding thing that happened. Of all people, one of my relatives, who is usually a vote blue no matter who person, came to me and informed me that I needed to do some research into a Maryland candidate named Adrian Boafo. Now, every day when you turn on MSNBC in the morning and the morning news, it's just pummeled with commercials about how Steny Hoyer backs this guy. He's also backed by Angela also Brooks, who is a senator, and Wes Moore, who is the governor of Maryland. Now, here's the problem with all of this. Now, for years, people in the state of Maryland, and probably across the United States, had no idea the influence that AIPAC has on American elections. Now, if you're familiar with that, then you understand that this is an Israel lobby. This has absolutely nothing to do with the betterment of the lives of people in America or the candidates they endorse, and more to do with furthering of not only the genocide in Palestine and the establishment of a Judeo-ethnic state in Israel. Now, Nancy Pelosi has been with the Israel lobby since 1987 when she ran for office in the state of California. But mind you, she grew up in Baltimore, or was born in Baltimore at least, and is from here. So she should understand the plight of black people. But she used this Baltimorean identity in order to, in my opinion, placate to people like John Lewis and Elijah Cummings and convince them that she was their friend. Now you have Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries, which is only an extension of this same little clique that I'm talking about. And I tell people all the time in the state of Maryland, when you go to vote, do not vote on a slate. Educate yourself about these candidates. Because this is why, if you vote on name recognition alone, or you vote because somebody has been there for so long and you trust them, 9 times out of 10, you vote and you go back to your life. You do not check out these people's voting records once they are in office. And you would find the voting records of people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Cory Booker, absolutely disgusting and totally against what you thought you were voting for. Right now, Cory Booker is running all over AIPAC, going to every Jewish celebration he can, finding people with yarmulkes. And yes, I'm being sarcastic, but that's what he looks like. Tap dancing for fucking AIPAC. I'm going to bring you all these black people, he said to them in a speech. And you can go Google that, because he actually looks like a fucking clown in this particular incident. But I digress. So, in light of this, that I found out about Adrian Boafo, I also found out that Steny Hoyer, who is retiring, who has already slated Adrian Boafo to take his place, is also, or has also been taking AIPAC money. Grade A AIPAC. Okay, running for that same position is Rashawn Baker, Quincy Berebe, and Mr. Harry Dunn, who was one of the police officers who were present during the January 6th insurrection. Now, with all due respect to this man, I love him to death, agree with everything he says, but my personal soul will not allow me to vote for him. Why? Because he is endorsed by Nancy Pelosi. Therefore, in my opinion, having seen what has happened to other people she endorsed, her inability to get behind Kamala Harris, probably because she was black and she might have, had some misgivings about this whole Israel endorsement thing. And the fact that everyone who follows her lead ends up disappointing the people. I just can't do Harry Dunn. I can't do it. If he wants to win this election, he needs to get away from her. But if he does happen to win this election, then in 2028, Democrats are going to lose the presidency. Because you're going to have all these AIPAC implants in there. And as much as I love Harry Dunn, he's not going to be able to resist. Because I know how it is, how to be accepted and all that. No, I finally made it somewhere. And they get just like Westmore. Just like Westmore played the fucking race card. And he got up there and acted simple. And he's still on two sides of the fence. He says he's anti-Trump, right? But he's still backing Adrian Boafo. Why? Because Angela Alsobrooks, Steny Hoyer, and probably Nancy Pelosi told him to. Because they're all AIPAC. They're all part of the same club. This is why you need to do your research. Now, one person I really feel good about is a guy named Amara Crooms, running for District 9 council seat in the state of Maryland. He is for environmental protection, strengthening public service, and upgrading infrastructure, which is well along the lines of somebody like an AOC. He's grassroots. He's not slinging mud at people. He's not doing all these other things. And he doesn't have 50 people on a slate, supporting him. People like that don't need that. So what I asked from the Democratic Socialists of America, I'm just a straight up socialist. But if you're for getting some of these people elected, I think this guy is, he's ready to go. And we need some Bernie Sanders boast. And in the state of Maryland. We really do. We need some help here because there are a lot of what appears to me, it takes one to know one, a lot of socialists on the Maryland ballot. Election day, primary day is the 23rd of June. Early voting is the 11th, so we do not have much time. There are people that need to be picked up by the Democratic Socialists of America or anyone who believes in socialism and breaking the Democratic corporate party the way it is. It's unsustainable. And by electing the love children of Nancy Pelosi, all we're doing is ensuring that the next 7 generations has to deal with the same bullshit that we are right now. And we really can't afford that. We just really can't. So let's be reasonable. Let's do our research. And let's not vote because we know somebody or somebody was in our sorority or we might have gone to a party where we met this person and we thought they were nice. This isn't about nice. This isn't about being empty thinkers. We need to be critical here. Not because we need to feel good about being popular at the next dinner party in the state of Maryland, and that's how things go around here. But we need to feel good about ourselves and be able to look in the mirror and know that the people that come after us are going to benefit from our actions. If you're over 50, your time is done. Your relevance is with the next generation, not with trying to preserve some status or look important. Because, to be honest, the average American doesn't give a fuck about the last party you went to, the pictures you took, or who you went to college with 55 years ago. What they care about is their children, grandchildren. They care that the air they breathe is clean. They care about people who care about this country. Not black people who have been oppressed since 1619, all of a sudden putting Jews above their own children and grandchildren. What fucking sense does that make? Black people who have survived slavery have been waiting for reparations for ages. And yet, you're going to take money from the Adelsons and AIPAC and even that new organization that's Democratic called the Third Way. You're going to do that? And sacrifice what could potentially be a windfall under socialists for your children. That thing you've been waiting for. It's not going to be achieved by trickle-down economics or kissing Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton's ass, who for all intents and purposes is pretty much now on the MAGA side. You can Google that too. You need to start looking out for yourselves and stop making getting elected to an office a priority. And put the public service back into public servant. Now, if you can't do that, I have plenty of socialists around here that are not going to vote for you. But I'm putting this out there, and people come to me every day and ask me who they should vote for. And I'm going to tell them the absolute truth. I'm not going to vote for my friends. I'm not going to vote for somebody that shook my hand. I'm going to vote for the next 7 generations, and you should too. This is the Woke Socialist Podcast. Once again, please like and subscribe to this video. It's been a pleasure talking to you tonight. Have a great day.